Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan, and thanks for joining us for our Friday RainWatch update, recorded on February the 23rd. And we are tracking some wet weather this weekend. It's not all bad news, but not everyone who needs rain will get it, but certainly this is one of the better chances we've seen in a while for getting some rain. So let's take a look and see what's happening with the air pressure map at the moment. This enormous high, which was parked over us on Thursday, now starting to move out to the east. And so we've got a warmer airflow coming in from the subtropics and out of Australia as well. That's all about to move in and across the country. But we've got this storm down here. Amazingly produced temperatures over 36 degrees in Tasmania yesterday, which is not that common. It's a little bit like, the South Island of New Zealand. We don't always see highs like that. Sometimes we do. You need the right setup for it. And yes, it does mean some areas in the east are going to be pretty hot over the next couple of days. I don't think we'll get to that heat, but still could be getting up and towards the early 30s. So let's have a look at what is going on. We've got the low down there that I just talked about and the high up here over New Zealand. This is the next 48 hours taking you through till Sunday evening. And you see the rain kind of moving up the country quite quickly there. Ends on Sunday night, and it's very patchy, broken up rain. Now, for some of you, get a slightly heavy fall or moderately heavy fall, and it kind of stalls over you. You might get 20 millimeters or 30 millimeters. Others, though, in the drier areas where it stalls means you might not get much at all. So we aren't seeing giant rainfall totals, but for some people it will be a bit of relief. Let's have a look at Saturday's setup. So here we are at lunchtime. The front comes into the South Island. Heavy rain down in Fiordland and southern parts of Westland. And as the day progresses, that rain moves up the coastline, reaching the lower North Island at night time or overnight. But those hot, windy nor'westers or westerlies that I was telling you about, you can see them there. Please keep up to date with the Met Service warnings and watches. They do have a few out at the moment. And dry for the North Island for the most part. Might be a couple of isolated showers around, but generally speaking, it is warm, subtropical, and mostly dry. Now by Sunday afternoon, up comes that front into the North Island, clears away from the South Island. There might be a lingering shower or two, clears away from the lower North Island as we head in towards the afternoon. Now with high pressure just here to the north, the front is not only falling apart, but it's slowing down. So that's the reason why there might be some spots that do get some decent rain, but even within the same region, or even within the same city like Auckland, where I am, you might find that is all broken up. So keep up to date with our rainfall that we've got, our hourly rainfall totals at WeatherWatch and ruralweather.co.nz, and of course our new app, but also keep up to date with the rain radar as we go through the day. So all that rain in the weekend, what does it look like? Well, here is the 48 hours from 7 o'clock tonight through until 7 p.m. Sunday. Most of the wet weather on the west coast here in the red to purple shading, so anywhere between 40 and 70 or 80 millimeters. You see similar totals around Mount Taranaki, Mount Ruapehu, and also southern ranges of the North Island. Not as much further up, but still getting patchy kind of stuff. And the yellows and the oranges, anywhere between 10 to 35 millimeters coming through. So again, it depends on if you get one of those slightly heavier falls and if it's slowing down when it's over you. Not much rain here in the eastern side, not much for Nelson or Blenheim, Wairarapa, Wellington, Napier, Hastings area, and not very much for the eastern Coromandel and north of Auckland, around Northland, and certainly the far north is going to won't be seeing the same totals as other parts of the North Island. So if you're lucky enough to get one of those downpours, that's great, but not everyone will get it. By Monday, the front's pretty much decimated. There are a few showers lingering, maybe one or two to the north. Here's the next front coming in. It's not very aggressive, but by Tuesday, it slides into Southland and Otago. There'll be some welcome news for northern parts of Otago and also southern parts of Canterbury. May not be very much though. The pale blue indicates it's not a huge amount of rain, but a little bit's in there. You got this high out to the west coming in like a bulldozer. So we get to Wednesday and it pushes it out to the east before it has a chance to really get into the North Island. There may be a few showers around, but not much. We get into Thursday. Still got a few showers lingering behind that system, but high pressure is mostly in control now. Another front, another low out here near Tasmania coming in towards Friday. It's also running into high pressure parked to the north and kind of stretching down here to another one. They're actually connected. So this is all sort of weak high pressure, but either way, that front kind of breaks apart. But maybe next weekend, the first weekend of March, there is a chance again of some wet weather moving into the country. So let's have a look at the 7-day map. Now, this is from our WeatherWatch website. You can find this on our site. It's one of those ones where you can move the bar along and the rain progresses. The blue that you see around most of the North Island is in that 10 to 20 millimetre mark. On the eastern side here, the purple and the pink, 0 to 10 millimetres. So you might get 1 or 2 millimetres, or you might get up to 10, but not as much along the eastern side. You see that as well around the South Island. Around the top of the South Island, you're in that 5 millimetre mark, so not a huge amount for Nelson and Marlborough, but a little bit. Most of the wet weather over here on the west coast. Some areas down here could be seeing a couple of 100 millimetres over the next 7 days. And you go further up, more populated areas, you're getting up to that 40 millimetre mark. Might also be 40 millimetres up here around the eastern side of Bay of Plenty. Just depends on, again, those hit and miss downpours that we're going to be seeing coming in this weekend. So there you go, a little bit of optimism, a bit of a silver lining, but it's certainly not enough to reverse some of these very dry areas we're starting to see around the country. We'll be continuing these RainWatch updates each and every Friday. Please join us next Friday for the next one. Have a great weekend.